On in Unit 6 with inequalities. Today we're going to do Section 6.5, Graphing Linear Inequalities. So the steps to graphing a linear inequality, here's what we're going to do. We're going to graph the line represented in the inequality. In other words, you need to find the slope and the y-intercept. Remember, you may need to rewrite the inequality into a y is greater than or less than mx plus b. Okay? Next, you need to determine whether the line is part of the solution or not. So the way that we determine that is just like with the open or the closed circle, we decide that with the line as well. If the symbol is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, then the line is part of the solution and it should be a solid line. If the symbol is less than or greater than, then the line is not part of the solution, and the line will be dotted when we graph it. The last thing then that we need to figure out is what are the other values, what are the other ordered pairs that would also make that inequality true. That set of ordered pairs is what we call a half plane. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out which half plane to shade. The shading represents the values, the ordered pairs that make the graph and that make the inequality true. So the way that we can do this is we can do it a couple different ways. The way I like to go with this is you pick an ordered pair that is not on the line and plug it into the inequality for x and y. If that point makes the inequality true, then you shade the half plane that contains that point. If the point makes the inequality false, then you shade the other part of the half plane. Okay, so here we go. Let's try this. So we're going to start off. First thing I'm going to ask you is what is the slope and what is the y-intercept? So if I look here, my slope is a half, my y-intercept is -3, and I also look at this symbol. That symbol means that my line is going to be a dotted line, meaning the line will not be part of the solution. So now what I do is I come over here, I go down 3, 1, 2, 3, I put a dot. From there, I move up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, and then I'm going to simply make the line dotted that passes through those. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pick a point. So I'm going to pick 0, 0. So if I plug in 0, 0. Now, 0, 0 is located right here, not on the line. So when I plug that in, I get 0 is greater than 1/2 times 0 minus 3. Well, half times 0 is 0, so 0 is greater than -3. That is a true statement. So since that side that contains 0, 0 makes it true, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to shade that side of the graph. Now, what does that mean? That means that that is the answers that would make that inequality true. Any ordered pair we pick from that shaded area is going to make that inequality true. Okay, let's try another one. So I'm going to start off again. I want to know what is the slope, what is the y-intercept. So here my slope is -3, my y-intercept was 1, and this time, since that symbol, it's going to be a solid line. So I'm going to go up 1, I'm going to put my dot. From there, I'm going to go down 3, right 1, down 3, right 1. Then at that point, I'm going to connect that like so, and there is my line. Now, I'm going to pick a point. I don't care, let's try 2, 2. Okay, 2, 2 is right here, not part of my line. So I'm going to plug that in. I'm going to go 2 is less than or equal to -3 times 2 plus 1. Well, -3 times 2 is -6, plus 1 would be -5. Now, here's the question. Is 2 less than or equal to -5? And that is no, that is false. So 2, 2 is on the right-hand side. Since that made it false, I'm going to shade the left-hand side. Okay, let's try another one. Now, on this one, you'll notice that it's not solved for y yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have to get it to y equals. So I'm going to minus the 2x from both sides. So that's going to get me negative y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 4. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to divide by negative 1. Now that is going to make that inequality switch. And negative 2 divided by negative 1 is 2x, and that's going to get us a negative 4. So now I come back, I say, okay, the slope is 2, the y-intercept is negative 4, and it is a solid line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a slope of 2, so up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. It's a solid line, so I'm going to fill that line in. I'm just going to draw it solid all the way through. Now we have to figure out a shading, so I'm going to pick the point 0, 0. It's not on our graph. So now I have 2 times 0 minus 0 is greater than or equal to 4. Well, 2 times 0 is 0 minus 0. So is 0 greater than or equal to 4? And that is false. So since that side is false, I'm going to shade the side less than that. Okay, and remember that shading is representing all of the ordered pairs that would make that inequality true. All right, let's try another one like that where we have to do a little solving first. So we're going to start in here. I'm going to minus the 4x from both sides. Then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to divide each by a negative 3. So that's going to give me y greater than, negative divided by negative turns positive. And this is going to be a negative 2. My slope is 4/3. My y-intercept is negative 2, and it is a dotted line. So I'm going to start down 2. From there, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's a dotted line. Now I'm going to pick a point. I'm going to use 0, 0 again because that's not on the line. And here's the question, is 4 times 0 minus 3 times 0, is that less than 6? Well, this is all 0, so is 0 less than 6? That is true. So that means we would shade all of this part. Okay, and there is our answer to that. All right, let's go back. We're going to do 2 more. We're just going to review these special ones. Y is less than or equal to 6. So my slope is 0. My y-intercept is 6. So that means I come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And remember, this is a horizontal line. I look at the symbol. This tells me it's going to be a solid horizontal line. And now when you look at that, where is y less than 6? And that would be all of this area underneath here. Okay. Let's try this last one. Here we have x is greater than negative 2. So my slope here is undefined. We're not finding the y-intercept, but instead we're finding the x-intercept is a negative 2. It's going to be a dotted line. So I come over here to negative 2. On the x, it's a dotted line. And then it says x is greater than that, and where are the x values bigger than that? And that would be to the right. Okay, and that is graphing linear inequalities.